The state budget process is underway. I'm Jill Horner. This is Comcast Newsmakers. With me is New Jersey State Senator Jeff Van Drew. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
We're talking about a variety of different issues in the state budget process, but some of these issues we've discussed in the past, and they're things that you'd like to see happen on an annual basis when it comes to the state budget. One of the things that you want to see happen is a better procurement process when it comes to items that the state needs to purchase year over year.
Exactly. You know, we've come a long way over the last few years, and I think we're on a better track, quite frankly, with fiscal and budgetary issues. We've learned that you can't keep taxing people and creating more fees and putting more pressure on their own financial outlook. But we need to continue. And one of the ways of looking at that is the goods and the services that the state of New Jersey procures. I think we can even do better. And I know the treasurer, I've spoken to him numerous times on it. As you know, each member of the governor's cabinet comes before the budget committee, and I sit on the budget committee, and you get to really discuss these different issues and really get to know, quite frankly, what all the dollars are flowing in the state of New Jersey. And one of the areas that I think we're going to continue to focus on is how can we get the best bang for our buck when we're procuring goods or services.
In addition to that, you want the state comptroller to go through each department and assess where the dollars are going department by department on an annual basis. Talk to us about that and why you think that that would be necessary and what you think that that would actually find on an annual basis when it comes to the state budget.
I think it would be great, and we've all read reports when the comptroller has focused on one particular area where they say, gee, we can do better very often. Well, if you could imagine an organized process where you're looking at the entire state bureaucracy and you're through each department, each cabinet level position, where we spend money, if the comptroller could go through there with some staff, and not in just a way to create burdens or to be, you know, negative, but really say, hey, how can we spend our money better? How can we do better? You know that we're going to find that we can do better. And there may even be some areas that we should be doing more in the state, but certain areas where we could spend our money more wisely. I will tell you, Jill, if anybody says that we don't waste money, whether it's in New Jersey or in the federal government or anywhere, we do. Regardless of how hard you try, it is unfortunately one of the byproducts of government. So we can do better with that. And I think an organized, methodical process in which you really look at this department by department, issue by issue throughout the entire state bureaucracy would prove very beneficial. Less duplication, you know, more effective government, hopefully. So I've talked about this for a number of years, and I know that they've done it. They have done some of what I would like, but I'd love to see more of it.
An area where you think there is duplication is in the state fleet. This is an area that we've discussed over the years. You say that there are too many cars and that there are cars that are sitting there not being used on a daily basis.
Yeah. This is an area where we haven't done a whole lot, and I think that we can do more. In some areas we've moved forward in some of these issues. You know, there are other states that work with leasing companies, work with other entities. You can essentially move a car around. Not every department needs all the cars and all the vehicles that they have all the time. So let's say, you know, really take a look at this and have a program where if, you know, a vehicle is needed 2 days a week or 1 day a week or 3 days a week, whatever it is, it's there for that amount of time, but then it moves over to the other position where it's needed. So we do have less duplication and less cost factors. We've all heard the stories where people see vehicles sitting in a parking lot unmoved for days at a time. Quite frankly, that's inexcusable. They're expensive. You know, there's obviously depreciation that takes place, and if they're not being used on a regular basis, why are we doing that? So I think we need, again, to have an overall look at the entire process with our vehicle system in New Jersey. How can we most effectively and most usefully, and quite frankly, as cheaply as possible, have them.
And just a few seconds left, but another issue that you want to address is not using dedicated funds for purposes other than intended purposes.
That's a pet peeve of mine. We've gotten much better. We've improved radically over the last few years. We need to do even more. Personally, I think, and it might be hard to pass because, you know, it just is something that, hey, I need support. I think it should be law that you can never do it.
Thanks for being with us, and the budget process is moving forward in New Jersey.
It is.
Thank you. We've been talking with New Jersey State Senator Jeff Van Drew. I'm Jill Horner.